You're watching The Noon Show with Tamara Vaifanua, Brooke Walker, and Matt Johnson.
It is being called the new protein. Fiber is having a moment.
Fiber. What a star. What a star it is. Yeah, in fact, a term called fiber maxing was named one of the top health trends of the year. And here could be one reason why. Recent studies show that just 12% of women and 4% of men are meeting the daily fiber requirements.
Way too low. Well, we always turn to health contributor Mickey Eberhardt for some solid sense and guidelines, which is the case today. Walk us through this. Okay, define what fiber maxing is all about.
Okay, so essentially it's a concerted effort to try and meet that daily requirement of fiber, which is 25 to 35 grams a day. But as social media sometimes tends to take things up a notch, and they're even trying to get like 40 to 70 grams. So it's like meeting the requirement and then going past.
Social media.
We just need to hit the requirement.
Always the extra, right? Always delivering on the extra. All right, so we hear fiber, and I think most people think of it just moving things along.
Yes.
Is that the polite TV way to say it?
That is the polite way.
But you point out that there's a lot of other benefits.
Sure. It can help reduce the risk for cardiovascular disease, and then type 2 diabetes, as well as some cancers it can prevent, so that's specifically those GI cancers. And it keeps us fuller longer, right? So it can help manage hunger if weight loss is a goal.
So many benefits, but yet an overwhelming majority, we're not getting enough of it. Why is that? Why is it so tough?
I think the obvious ones are going to be ultra-processed food or fast food, but I think the sneaky culprit in here might be the trend of lower carb diets, because then you're removing whole grains, fruits that really help promote that fiber.
Where do you stand, Mickey, on like real food sources versus fiber supplements?
What's interesting is when anything becomes trendy, you'll see more supplements pop up.
Sure.
Right? We see gummy fibers and powders. I'm always a food first, supplement second. We're going to get more benefit from the whole food source, but I don't mind topping it off if need be with a supplement. Or if traveling, sometimes that can be helpful. Not my regular foods, I'll have a supplement.
All right, so if we want to improve on this, where is the best place that we should start?
So my initial pro tip is going to be start low and go slow. And the reason for that is going from low fiber to high fiber is going to make your gut hurt. And because fiber's like a sponge, it soaks up extra water. If you're not increasing your water content along with the fiber, it's going to be painful. And it will have the opposite effect of moving things through. So what I recommend is maybe up 5 grams per week. By the end of the month, you'll be at the recommendation most likely, and that way you're gonna feel a lot better and not have that bloating and uncomfortable feeling. So increase your water, 5 grams a week.
So your body can adjust better.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yep.
It's one of those fascinating points of acclimation, like your body will get used to it. Your body's living and growing and
We'll
developing
figure it
with
out
you.
if we do it right.
Additionally, you have 4 other strategies, and the first one involves, again, small and steady, but making easy swaps that maybe you wouldn't even notice.
Easy swaps. Keep the skin on your fruits and vegetables if you can. Adding whole grains instead of refined things. A favorite that I have right now is swapping out mayonnaise and doing like smashed avocado on the bread instead. That's still going to be a fat. It's not low calorie, neither is mayonnaise. But I can get in 3 and 4 grams of fiber with that, pair it with a whole grain bread. I can have a 10-gram fiber sandwich and be well on my way to that initial goal.
Nice.
I'm going to try that because I usually have a sandwich when I get home from work.
There you go.
I'm going to swap
Add
up
your
the meal,
smashed
avocado.
Add your smashed avocado.
All right, and I need to snack smarter apparently because you get better fiber that way.
We can get more fiber this way. I mean, popcorn, trail mix, high fiber things, even adding dips like hummus or guacamole.
Which is interesting because you don't usually sneak snacks in as a way to improve health, but in this particular category, it can be helpful.
Yes, and I have a fun favorite that I'm loving, which is this crunchy roasted edamame. It's dried. I got this big bag at Costco, and it is in a 1/3 cup, 6 grams of fiber, 14 grams of protein.
Wow.
And there's some different flavors too, but it's a great sideline spectator snack. It's a great road trip munchie. And I love cottage cheese and tomatoes, but I've been putting a handful of the edamame in there, mixing up for a little texture. It's great.
Nice.
A smoothie can be fiber friendly too?
A smoothie can be. Unlike juicing, which removes all fiber, blending keeps it in. And so adding a smoothie can be a great way to get in more fiber. In fact, there's a great recipe for a 19-gram fiber smoothie, which is a cup of raspberries, a cup of spinach, a quarter of the avocado, 2 tablespoons of almond butter, and then a tablespoon of chia seeds. That can be a hearty snack. If you want to make it more of a meal replacement, you could add in Greek yogurt, protein powder.
Okay, remind us the recommendation again. That's 19 grams of fiber in that smoothie.
25 to 35 is the minimum.
Okay, so
you're well on your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about fruits? Canned fruit or just, you know,
so I would
veggies
say
as well?
frozen fruit is a great way. It's going to have the same fiber as regular and sometimes better pricing depending on the season. Yeah. When it comes to canned things, you could do like canned vegetables, which still are going to up fiber if cost or, you know, availability is tricky. But canned beans are the easiest thing. A cup of beans is 15 grams of fiber. It's an easy thing to add into ground beef without having to pressure cook or overnight your beans. So
you know what? I went into this conversation probably in part with how fiber is being presented on social media. A little dramatic. I went
a lot dramatic.
I went into this conversation thinking, there's no way. And I'm coming out of this thinking a turkey sandwich and a cup of beans and we're good.
you hit your requirements.
Okay, Mickey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, we know Utah's full of good people doing great things, and here are just a few you might like to know. A Utah teen is one of 5 finalists in a nationwide search for the most artistic kid in the country. Her name is Reese Allen. She is a 7th grader at Draper Park Middle School, and she beat out thousands of kids in Bob Ross's America's Most Artistic Kid competition with her realistic sketches and detailed watercolors. How her family says they knew she had a gift from a very young age, so really no surprise she has made it this far. If you would like to vote for Reese, you can head on over to artistickid.org and get this, one of the prizes, $20,000. So we are rooting her on. And check this out, BYU, one of the finalists for the 2026 University Rover Challenge. So there are 38 teams from 11 countries, and they will compete at the finals being held at the end of May. This competition started with 116 teams from 18 countries, all of which submitted written reports and video demonstrations of their rovers to be scored by the judges. Now, the 38 finalists, they will prepare for the field competition that will be at Mars Desert Research Station right here in Utah. And finally, folks across the world celebrated extra chromosomes for World Down Syndrome Awareness Day over the weekend. And one Utah mom, she has made it her mission to celebrate the diagnosis all year long. Angela McBride is a volunteer for Jack's Basket. This is a nonprofit organization that is focused on helping new parents navigate Down syndrome in their children. She says this organization has helped her learn to embrace the unknown.
It had so many great resources in it, and it just was such a comforting thing to know, like, hey, I'm not alone. There's people out there supporting us. When you meet other moms that have been through a similar journey, it just really helps you to not feel so alone in everything.
Well, parents can reach out for a Jack's Basket up until their child is 1 year old. The nonprofit also takes donations, all of which are doubled this month for Down syndrome awareness. We'll be right back after the break.
All right, this feels like the perfect question for lunchtime on a Monday. What would you do for a free slice of pizza? So Pomodori Pizza in Newburyport, Massachusetts went viral for this gimmick, and we're biting. They invited customers to walk in dancing if they wanted a free slice of pie. Cameras rolling, of course. They have some fun customers, or at least some really good pizza. I don't know which. But here's the question on the table.
Look at the dog.
What's your signature dance move? Because I feel like everyone out there has the move that if the music comes on or if the pressure is put forward, you default, your body defaults to the signature move. So Matt Johnson, go, buddy. What's your signature? You don't have to do it. Or you can.
If you want to.
I think I'm just like this, just sway and just don't look at anybody.
He's just so cool.
So like Hitch says, you keep it right here.
You
keep it right there.
Will Smith was right.
Okay.
Tamara, what's yours?
Okay, my daughter gets so embarrassed when I do this. The Running Man.
Oh,
Not really.
that takes coordination and effort. That's impressive.
You know, we wanna
mine
know.
is the step touch slide.
Oh, a little swerve
Just a little
to
snake
go with it.
Yeah.
Go enjoy your afternoon.